Good morning, viewers. You're watching NewsX and I'm Simran. Let's begin the bulletin with the focus on our first story of the day. US Vice President Kamala Harris conceded the presidential election to Donald Trump after an acrimonious, turbulent and polarizing campaign. In a speech, the Democratic leader said, though she has conceded the election, she has not conceded the fight that fueled this campaign. And I quote from the comments that have been made by the US Vice President Kamala Harris, while I concede the election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign. Fight for freedom, opportunity, dignity and for all people, Ms. Harris said in a speech that lasted less than 15 minutes. Her supporters cheered even though she admitted it was painful to lose. She told them to keep fighting. Let's now listen.
This election is not what we wanted, not what we fought for, not what we voted for, but hear me when I say, the light of America's promise will always burn bright. As long as we never give up, and as long as we keep fighting.
All right, my colleague Brian joins me live on the broadcast. Brian, very good morning to you. It seems like, in fact, that now the Democratic Party is coping up with the loss that they have in fact suffered due to the Republicans now coming back to the White House. And as Kamala Harris in her latest statement after facing the loss said that the fight for the United States and its freedom will continue. What exactly was the context for her speech, which in fact was heard later by her supporters, and she was given a loud cheer, in fact, even though she faced a tough battle?
Well, definitely, Simran, US Vice President Kamala Harris has coincided the very presidential election to Donald Trump after a continuous and a divisive campaign that happened. And even in a brief speech also, she emphasized that while she, yes, accepted the election outcome, she remains steadfast in the fight that fueled the campaign. And she also goes on to say that she has coincided the election, and she says that she did not rather coincide the fight for freedom, opportunity and dignity for her people. And she declared this to her supporters in this very speech under 15 minutes. And despite her loss also, she urged her supporters to keep fighting. And during ending her remarks also on a reflective note also, she added that, only when it is dark enough, she can see the stars, and she rather feels that, many are entering a dark time. And she also says that, one should fill the sky with light, the light of truth, optimism and service. And she assured her supporters that the American promises endure, saying that as long as they, never give up and keep fighting, the fight will burn, bright. And she also rather addressed the need for unity. And she even shared that she had spoken with President-elect Trump to congratulate him and promising to support a peaceful transfer of power. And the concession speech also took place at her alma mater, which is in Howard University in Washington DC. And definitely, Trump's victory has marked, Simran, the conclusion of one of the most, antagonistic campaigns in modern US history. Now, his return to the White House also comes despite even a criminal conviction, 2 prior impeachments as well. And even there has been a serious warning from his former chief of staff also branding him faces as well. But yes, he will be the oldest president to take office because he is aged 78, and his election also comes with a very strong international reactions also that is both supportive and concerned, especially as his America First stance raises questions abroad. Now, the first also was to congratulate Trump was Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who shared on social media and says that he had a great conversation with friend President Donald Trump and congratulated him also on his spectacular victory. And he also goes on to say he looks forward to work closely together to strengthen the US-India relation.
All right, Brian, thank you for sharing, in fact, the details that you have brought to us. I'll request you to kindly stay on with us on the broadcast. Now,